All right, it is Wednesday, March 29th, and today I took one trade and I was done. One and done. Easy as that. Made $40. Didn't want to overcomplicate today, and I'm going to go through my trades right now. I'm going to trade today. I took a single trade. I took three MES contracts long at around noon today, and it was a pretty quick scalp. I didn't do anything fancy. We were kind of ranging all day today, pretty much between like 40, 45 and 40, 30. So like a 15 point range. And then for the better part of it, we couldn't get past 40, 38. So again, a 7 or 8 point range right here. So this was kind of boring for me. I didn't do anything in the morning and I didn't really trade till about noon. And I wanted to see how we'd play off of this overnight high that I had from yesterday's high of day. So I kind of just waited to see how it handled it in the morning, but it just did some weird chop all morning and just kind of confusing. It tested 40, 45, rejected pretty hard down into 40, 30 range, broke through VWAP again. And I was kind of waiting to see, if you look, I'll back up. So this is pre-market here. And basically from the finish yesterday, I mean, just buys all the way up, just pretty much nonstop buying. And so that's, in my book, was pretty bullish. My plan originally was to play the gap fill, which I had down here at the 4009. That was the original plan, which was to just try to play, see if there was going to be a breakdown and then play to the gap. I also put this level here for the half gap. Sometimes considering the amount of like buying in pre-market, sometimes, especially also since this is a 30-point gap to fill, that's kind of a lot of points to fill. And so I kind of had this half gap as like kind of a mental note to see if maybe it would reach at least half gap to fill and then reversal. Did not end up playing that, and 40-30 ended up playing a pretty big role. It did bounce here in pre-market, so maybe that was a pretty good indication. But my play came around noon today, and we had broke above 40-40, buying pressure. I didn't want to get in long here. I just didn't feel confident in that, considering how kind of choppy we had been all day. So I waited for a pullback, and it was basically a perfect pullback. I felt really comfortable about this because we had two large wicks at the bottom here, and we ended up getting bought right up. So I entered on this large green candle, held through a couple. Let me zoom in a little bit here. Bought on this large green candle, held through a couple of red candles, a doji candle here, and then ended up selling on this candle here. I sold, I want to say probably around like 40, 44, just because quite frankly, I was expecting another rejection off of 40, 45. So I sold just before it, and it was right. I mean, it rejected here, but ended up consolidating a good bit. And then at scale, the rest of the afternoon, I just didn't want to trade. I had my $40. I felt okay about it. It took a simple trade. I was 1 for 1, and I just didn't really feel like trading. Obviously, 40-40 was a pretty important level today, so you could have played the rejection off of this here. We were supported by VWAP shortly afterwards, so yes, we did have a breakdown of 40-40. But even the support from VWAP at this point was at 40-38, so that could still be pretty bullish in my book, especially since if that's just like a higher low from this previous low at 40-32. So yes, this could have been a pretty decent play pretty much all afternoon, but a green day is a green day. I'm not upset about it, and I took $40 profit from the market and move on to the next day. So I'm going to keep this one short, and that's all I have for you today. Peace.